You open your phone for one quick thing, and somehow 20 minutes disappear without you noticing. So why does something that feels so small take so much of your time? You tell yourself it is normal. Everyone does it. It's just how life works now. But something about it feels different. You check your phone while waiting in line. You check it again while walking somewhere. You check it even during conversations with people you like. And sometimes you unlock it without knowing why. At night, you promise yourself you will sleep early, but your thumb keeps scrolling past videos you barely remember. You laugh at something for a second, then instantly move on to the next thing. And somehow you feel both busy and unfulfilled at the same time. But that is not the strange part. You notice your friends doing the same thing. They reply hours later, even when they're online. Conversations feel slower, but also more constant. You send a message, then check if they saw it, then check again 5 minutes later, and even when they reply, something feels slightly off. You sit with people in silence more often now. Not uncomfortable silence, just distracted silence. Everyone is there, but also somewhere else. And this is where things get interesting. At first, all of this feels random, just small habits formed over time, just the natural results of new technology. But something about it feels connected. The scrolling, the checking, the half-finished conversations, it all seems separate, but there's actually a pattern. And once you start seeing it, you cannot unsee it. But what exactly is happening here? Why does your attention feel more fragile than it used to be? Why do simple tasks feel harder to stay focused on? And why does everything feel slightly more exhausting than before? These questions sit quietly in the background. And this is where things get interesting. You start noticing how quickly you switch between things. A message comes in, and your focus breaks instantly. A notification appears, and your mind follows it without resistance. Even when you try to concentrate, something pulls you away. You open a video, but skip halfway through. You read a post, but lose interest before finishing. You start something, then move on before it settles. And it feels normal. But it wasn't always like this. There was a time when boredom lasted longer, when waiting felt slower but also quieter, when attention stayed in one place for more than a few seconds. Now everything feels faster, but not necessarily better. You notice how silence feels different now. It's harder to sit without stimulation, harder to just exist without reaching for something. And when you do nothing, your mind feels restless. But that is not the strange part. Even the things you enjoy feel different. Movies feel longer than they used to. Conversations lose momentum more easily. Even hobbies start feeling like effort. And this is where the pattern expands. It's not just your phone. It's not just social media. It's something deeper shaping how you experience everything. Your attention is no longer steady. It's constantly being pulled in different directions. And the more it gets pulled, the harder it becomes to hold. But something else is happening. You start craving shorter things, quicker videos, faster content, anything that delivers something immediately. And longer things start feeling uncomfortable, not because they're bad, but because they require something you no longer have as much of: sustained attention. And this is where things get bigger. It's not just individuals experiencing this, it's entire groups of people, entire conversations shaped around shorter attention spans, memes replacing explanations, clips replacing full stories, moments replacing meaning. And slowly the culture adapts to this. Content becomes faster, information becomes condensed, everything becomes easier to consume, but also easier to forget. And this is where things get interesting, because it starts to feel like a trade. You get more content, but less depth. You get more stimulation, but less satisfaction. You get more connection, but somehow less presence. And this is where the system begins to reveal itself. Everything you use is designed to keep you engaged, not just entertained, but continuously engaged. Every scroll leads to something new. Every swipe offers something different. And your brain starts expecting that constant change. This is not accidental. It's built into the system. The platforms you use are competing for your attention. Every second you stay is valuable to them. So they optimize everything to keep you there longer. Endless feeds,
autoplay videos, notifications that feel urgent, all designed to reduce the moment where you stop. And this is where things shift, because your attention is no longer just yours. It's being guided, shaped, redirected constantly, without you fully noticing. And the more it happens, the more it becomes your default. You stop choosing what to focus on and start reacting to what appears in front of you. And this is where things get interesting, because your brain adapts to this environment. It learns to expect novelty, to seek constant stimulation, to avoid anything that feels slow. And slowly, your attention changes shape. It becomes quicker, but less stable, more reactive, but less intentional. And this affects everything: how you work, how you talk, how you think, even how you feel. Because attention is not just about focus, it's about experience. What you pay attention to becomes your reality. And if your attention is constantly being fragmented, your reality starts to feel fragmented too. And this is where the deeper shift happens. Moments feel shorter, days feel faster, but also less memorable, because nothing stays long enough to fully register. And this is where things get personal. You start wondering why you feel tired, even when you didn't do anything physically demanding. Why your mind feels busy, even in quiet moments. Why it's harder to relax without distraction. And this is not just in your head. It's the result of constant input. Your brain is processing more than ever before, switching contexts hundreds of times a day. And it never fully rests, even when you're doing nothing. And this is where things get interesting, because you might not notice it immediately. It feels normal, it feels like life, but when you step back for a moment, you can feel the difference. The slight tension, the constant pull, the difficulty of staying in one place mentally. And this is where reflection begins. You remember moments when things felt slower, not better necessarily, but different, more grounded, more continuous. You could sit with something longer, think about it deeper, feel it more fully. Now everything feels slightly interrupted, even your own thoughts. And this is where things get quiet. You realize it's not just about distraction, it's about what's missing: depth, presence, stillness, things that don't compete well in a fast system. And this is where things become subtle, because no one told you this would happen. There was no moment where it changed suddenly. It happens slowly, quietly, one scroll at a time, and now it's everywhere. But something about it feels different. You start noticing the moments where your attention slips, the urge to check something for no reason, the discomfort of doing just one thing, and you begin to see the pattern more clearly. And this is where the realization settles in. Your attention is being shaped by the environment around you, not forcefully, but persistently. And over time, that persistence changes you. And this is not about blaming anything. It's just about seeing it, noticing how it works, noticing how it feels. Because once you notice it, you start experiencing it differently. The scroll feels more obvious, the distraction feels more visible, the pull becomes something you can actually see. And this is where things come full circle. You open your phone for one quick thing and feel the urge to stay longer. But now there's a small pause, a moment of awareness. And in that moment, something feels different. Not fixed, not solved, just noticed. And maybe that's where it starts, because the strange part was never just the time you lost. It was how quietly your attention changed along the way.